I'll start this off. First and foremost, let me give credit to Coach Kelly. Obviously, Notre Dame, they've got a great football team and a great football program. From an Iowa State standpoint, I walked out of our last football game disappointed maybe with the character in which we played, because I thought it was a little bit uncharacteristic of who we are and what our program stood for. But today I don't. Obviously, there's about 7 or 8 plays in this football game that really dictated the outcome of the football game in some ways for us that allowed us to be inefficient. And unfortunately, it's really what's held us back at times this football season from becoming the team that we do have the ability to become. But the character, the passion, the love of this senior class, what these young men have taught us and given to this football team has been some great lessons that we'll be able to carry forward in a really powerful way. But with that said, I'll certainly open any questions that you might have for us.
All right, here's your game. We'll go to my team. We'll start up here in the front on the left.
Matt, you brought up just a handful of plays that were significant. Besides the 2 lost fumbles, 4th and 1, there towards the end of the first half. What did you see there?
Yeah, and I'll have to go back, Randy, and see. I felt like we were going to get pressure off both edges. We needed an inch. We secured both edges, and whether it was push or whatever that was, we didn't get it. And so, again, you talk about 2 4th and 1s, you talk about 2 lost fumbles. Man, it's really hard to beat a really good football team not executing in those critical situations.
Coach, I guess first of all, what was the status of Brock? I don't know what something's going. Now that the season's over, I know maybe a little. Has he been dealing with some stuff? It seems like I know you guys have dealt with various injuries. Has he been dealing with stuff throughout that he's had to fight through?
Yeah, first of all, it's a high ankle sprain, so we're really fortunate and lucky, and obviously Brock is fortunate and lucky as well. There is no break, and we've been able to get him MRI and X-ray already. I think for Brock, he certainly has. The Kansas State game, the Oklahoma State game are 2 games where, from an ankle standpoint and mobility standpoint, he's really limited. Today, I thought he was the most healthy he's been, since probably the midpoint of the football season. But Brock's dealt with that. I think that's part of the process of playing quarterback. We've been really fortunate because he's been able to take almost every rep for us at the quarterback spot. And as we know, he likes to use his feet at times to help himself. So it's certainly not an issue that we're worried about going forward. But just an understanding of it's a long football season, a lot of hits on him.
I'm curious, in those 7, 8 plays, how many of them ended up going to Chase Claypool, their talented receiver, and ultimately, is there a whole lot you can do about a guy who's certainly going to be playing in the NFL next year and has some pretty special measurables?
Yeah, and let me first give Jason so much praise. I mean, he's a phenomenal football player, and I say going into this football game, and our defensive staff would say the same thing. I thought we had a really good plan to take him away at times in the game, but again, a lack of execution. I think the 3rd down, 3rd and 15, he's got the ability to make the play, and instead of, we have 2 guys on him, we're supposed to jam them and play an off-jam coverage. Instead of playing an off-jam coverage, our young corners playing a tight jam coverage, and we don't get any hands on him. And really give him a free run on 3rd down and long. And again, that's what I mean. Detail and execution, those are little things that this team has kind of prohibited us at times from being the best version of us we need to be. And, that starts with me as the football coach. If it's not getting done, then we got to make sure it gets done.
Coach, what do you tell the team, specifically the seniors after a tough loss like that? How do you get the guys motivated going into the training in the offseason and spring?
Yeah, I think this senior class has they've done an incredible job leading. I've got one of our great seniors right next to me that, who they are, what they stood for, and how this football team's really responded all season long to hard, tough situations has been because of our great leadership by our senior class. I mean, you saw our kids fighting today. We go in the second half on defense, we don't give up a score. You see us executing and doing some great things in our special teams units. And so from my end of it, to me, when the attitude, the effort, and the character of a football team is still where it needs to be and continuing to grow, I think we're in a great spot. You got to remember this is a really young team, and a lot of really young guys were forced into some critical moments this year. And this senior class was able to carry those young guys through some tough moments. And this also, the senior class had to handle a lot of expectations with some really young players. And so I think the balance of that has got what's got me really excited about our future, about this football team. I think we're really close, and I think there's obviously being really close and doing it are two different things, and so we're gonna have to figure out how to get it done.
Stand in front, center left.
Deshaunte, what's your take on what happened out there today?
Notre Dame played a great game. That's just hats off to them. They're a great team. Obviously, they're 10-2 coming to the season, coming to the bowl game. So this is a great team. Come out there, they play hard, they fought, and that's just right.
Does it surprise you that at this point in the season there were still little detailed things that you guys will work on, because it has been such a big talking point, and it was crowded up again today after no money?
Yeah, I think today's where it a little bit different was, you're talking about a ball on the ground here, a ball on the ground there. I think we've done a fairly good job all season with that, and you got to give credit to those guys. They've got an outstanding defensive front. Made a great play on special teams to rake the ball out. I think from my standpoint of it is, I've seen great growth in some of the areas that have occurred during the season, and yet there's still areas that we have to get figured out. And, you can't jump off sides inside the 10-yard line anymore than obviously football has this year. And that's coaching. It's not, it can't be blaming anybody, that's coaching. And so, you can't continue to give up third and long, that's coaching. And so some of those areas, we have to look ourselves in the mirror, and we've got to figure out how to get those things answered, because you're right, those are things that have continued to rear its ugly head. And I'll be the first one to take accountability for it, and we'll do a great job this offseason figuring it out.
For you, Coach talks about the foundation laid for this team going forward with character. Do you see some of those things, and what, as someone who will be watching from afar, what do you expect to see from this group of guys that are really going?
Yeah, the team, there's so many guys on the team that's going to go back to where we continue to expect greatness from everybody. There's so many leaders in the locker room right now that's going to bring that team together. I don't have any worry what's going to happen to the next team, the 2020 team. So as far as that, the leaders are going to control and take over guys like Rob, Lawrence, Perez, just handful of guys right there that can lead that team and continue to push this program to a positive direction.
On the right front.
Danny Thompson, 3-point conversion. Deshaunte, I know it's stage last day, but what's the biggest thing coaches taught you at Ohio State that's going to prepare you for next summer?
Just to keep fighting, just to keep getting myself better. Throughout these years, I had a lot of ups and downs, and throughout the years, I just taught myself just to focus on myself and just to continue to get better as a person and as a player. And this year has by far been my best year since I've been at Ohio State, and a lot of those things is I focused on myself and I focused on little things to get myself better and to continue to help my teammates and be selfless and do all those things to just help my teammates, and everything just came back to me in a positive way.
Straight in the back of the camera platform.
Matt, John Schaefer, WR, when will you go back and watch this film? Will it be one on the plane ride, or are you going to take a break a little bit and just kind of say goodbye to seniors and get ready for that next move, or when does that happen for you?
I'm knowing me, it'll probably happen here in about 3 hours. But I think from my standpoint, you are at a unique time as the season comes to an end. We've got great seniors that have got great opportunities, and so number one, I want to make sure we do everything in our power to make sure they're set for life after Iowa State. Number two, obviously the excitement of coming back here. We've got about 2.5 good weeks to prepare ourselves for this football team to come back and figure out, what are those things that we really got to focus on. And, January, as you guys have heard me say millions of times, January, February, March, April, and May are critical times for the development of a football team. But I do think the thing that I'm excited about is you've got so many, and like Deshaunte said, you've got some leadership and some leaders that may be the greatest room that we've had since I've been here in terms of guys that get it, that understand it, and that have the ability to demand it from everybody in the program. And so I think that's one of these great things that this senior class has done, is help that next group come and be ready to go and be ready to lead. And so those things I'm really excited about.
Center right.
My philosophy is that, Matt, you said a couple of moments ago that you think you're really close. What does that mean? How do you define it? Why do you think that?
Well, I think when you can really step back and watch these games, and you can really see that, you know, when we got there, Mike, you got a great understanding that I think 4 years ago, there wasn't even a thought that we could compete with teams like this. There was no thought that we could compete with the best teams in our conference. And, you know, and to be quite honest with you, I don't know if there's a lot of people that thought we could compete with our rival in our own state. And now you fast forward to a season like this. And I knew this was going to be a really unique and challenging year because this was a team where there was great expectations put on the football team, and yet there was so much youth and so many young players that had to step into critical roles in this team. And so I think going through these experiences and being really close and understanding that there are 6, 7, 8 plays in a game that are dictating what happens in the end result, I think our kids feel it, and I think why you're so disappointed, because you feel how close you really are to where you want to be. But again, those 6, 7, 8 plays, you know, saying that and doing that are two different things. And I'm the first guy to know that and understand that. So getting over that hump, taking that next step, boy, that's a great challenge. It's a great challenge for Iowa State football. But no greater challenge, to be honest with you, that I'd rather tackle than that challenge right there. And I know our coaching staff feels the same way.
Just time for a couple more, we'll start.
Matt, because of the seniors, like Deshaunte and your other seniors, next year's 2020 team, these guys who laid the foundation, next year's 2020 team looked like it has the foundation to be more than a 7 or 8 win team. Is that accurate?
Yeah, you know, again, and Randy, I would say this, and probably you say, well, it's coach speak a little bit, and maybe it is, and maybe it isn't. I think, again, every team, you don't know what you are or what you're not until you get through some of these critical months, January, February, March, April, May. Because to me, it's not just talent, it's not just who's playing what, it's where are some of your gaps? What does this year's team's gaps look like? You know, last year's gaps, I could have told you, you're losing the Brian Peavy, and you're losing David Montgomery and Akeem Butler and these guys who have been pillars of excellence in the program. And now you lose the Ray Limas and the Deshauntes, and you lose some of these guys and Marcel Spears that have been pillars of success. But, you know, one of the things that I think we're a lot closer to today than we were even a year ago is we played a lot of guys, and a lot of guys got unbelievable opportunity to be able to play critical situations, maybe better than we've ever been in our program. And so I think it is fair to say, man, those level of expectations need to continue to be high. We want them to be high, and we're not going to shy away from them being high.
Final question, second one, right?
Earlier this week, you said Julian Jones is banged up a little bit. When did you know that you wouldn't have him, and how would you evaluate how your offensive line played today?
Yeah, you know, the evaluation piece kind of probably came way more yesterday. We practiced on Friday, and you know that's kind of when we made the final decision that probably was in the best interest for him, and certainly for us to be at full strength. And you know, I tell you, I'll be honest with you, that Josh Greenfield over left tackle did an outstanding job in the game. I don't know what the statistics look like, but you know, I thought we protected pretty well. You know, I thought we did some really good things at times in the running game. You know, and again, you're talking about playing a weak defensive front. So, you know, I think from our end, I'll have to go back and give a, how I think we played on the line, but I certainly thought those guys stepped in, and obviously Colin Rule is a young man that started a lot of football games here, and you know, it's exciting for him to be able to this great experience and be an anchor to this offensive front coming back with Trevor Bauer.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time.